Icebox Murders, a gruesome mystery that remains unsolved. Houston, Texas, a welfare check, and a gruesome discovery inside a refrigerator. June 23rd, 1965. Police officers enter a quiet suburban home, expecting to find an elderly couple. Instead, they find dismembered human remains neatly stacked inside the fridge. At first, they think it's cuts of hog meat. Then, they realize it's Fred and Edwina Rogers. Their bodies had been drained, butchered, and carefully arranged. But their son, Charles Rogers, gone, and he was never seen again. Was this the work of a brilliant but disturbed mind? Or was Charles Rogers involved in something even darker, the grisly crime scene? June 23rd, 1965. Houston, Texas. Concerned relatives hadn't heard from Fred and Edwina Rogers in days. Police arrived at their modest home on Driscoll Street for a routine welfare check. Everything looked normal. Food was left out on the table. No signs of a break-in. But something felt wrong. An officer opened the refrigerator door, and inside were neatly stacked bags of what looked like butchered meat. At first, they assumed it was pork. Then they checked the vegetable drawers. Inside, they found two human heads staring back at them. It was Fred and Edwina Rogers, dismembered, drained of blood, carefully arranged. This was no ordinary murder. The killer had surgical precision, and one person was missing from the house, their son, Charles Rogers. Who was Charles Rogers, born December 30th, 1921? Charles Rogers was brilliant, a nuclear physicist, a former U.S. Navy pilot, a geophysicist for Shell Oil. But in 1957, he abruptly quit his job and vanished from public life. For years, neighbors weren't even sure if he still lived in the house. He communicated with his parents only through notes slipped under the door. Then, after the Icebox Murders, Charles Rogers disappeared completely. Theories. Why would Charles kill his parents? Investigators discovered something disturbing. His parents had been forging his signature on loans. They stole from his savings, and Fred Rogers was allegedly abusive. Some believe Charles snapped, murdering them in cold blood before escaping. But if Charles Rogers really did this, where did he go? That's where things get even stranger. The mysterious disappearance of Charles Rogers, theory number 1, the CIA connection. Some believe Charles Rogers worked for the CIA. In 1992, authors John R. Craig and Philip A. Rogers wrote a book called The Man on the Grassy Knoll. They claimed Charles was one of the 3 tramps spotted at Dealey Plaza during the JFK assassination. They believed he killed his parents because they knew too much, but there's no concrete evidence of this theory. Theory number 2, escape to Mexico and death in Honduras. In 1997, investigators Hugh and Martha Gardenier claimed that Charles escaped to Mexico, then Honduras. There, he was allegedly hired as a geologist in a mining town. But when he got into a wage dispute, he was murdered with a pickaxe and buried in an unmarked grave. Again, no proof has ever been found. Theory number 3, he never left the house. Some theorists believe Charles never escaped at all, that his body is buried somewhere on the Rogers property. But multiple searches found nothing. To this day, no one knows what happened to Charles Rogers. Why is this case still unsolved? The lack of physical evidence. No fingerprints. No witnesses. No solid leads. The botched investigation. By the time police named Charles the prime suspect, he was long gone. The wild conspiracy theories. With so many outlandish claims, serious leads got buried in speculation. The Icebox Murders remain one of America's strangest cold cases, a butchered crime scene a missing genius, and a mystery that has never been solved. Did Charles Rogers kill his parents and escape? Or was he a victim of something even bigger? What do you think happened? Drop your theories in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more shocking true crime mysteries.